What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing another video where we do another tier list. So, as if you guys are new to the channel and enjoy my team content, subscribe. We upload more my team content here than anywhere else. So yeah, this is going to be a tier list of the best budget players. So, what do I define as a budget player? It's like 15k or less, and it's a really tough one to base, like to talk about, like say 15k or less today, because the market is at like an all-time high. Because again, like there's no cards being put up on the market, nobody's selling cards. It's because one, it's a Sunday, two, the most garbage drop, which is idols packs, came. So some of these guys might be slightly over 15k. So let's just say if we get a half decent drop on Friday, or if something crazy like Spotlight Sims comes next week, then these cards will all be below 15k. So anyway, yeah. We're going to start off with Jared Jack. Jared Jack, I mean, at this stage in the game, he's D tier. He was great when he came out, though. Like, he came out in January. He came out right after Terry. It was the Inferno packs came out. And Terry this year, as far as I'm aware, came out on the Wednesday. And then that Friday was Inferno packs. And Jared Jack, man, I thought he was going to be one of the best Ruby point guards for the rest of the year. I was wrong. I was very wrong. But Jared Jack still got a really, really good release. He's still a good shooter in general. His defense it's not awful. He plays the same at Ruby and Amethyst, and him and Fultz were definitely the two best Ruby point guards in the game when he came out. Then we have got Kyle Anderson B tier. I really do like Kyle Anderson. I think he's a good, not spectacular card at this stage. Great behind the back. He has got a great three-pointer. Just an all-around really, really solid player. Defense is where he excels as well. And yeah, he's by no means a flawless card. He's by no means at all a flawless card. He came out like on the 12th of February? Yeah, 12th of February. It was the last Friday of Season 4 is when he came out. And he most definitely was is a more than solid card, so he's gone B tier. Smush, I mean, Smush is going B tier. Smush was the best. No, B tier. Smush was the best budget player in the game when he came out. Man, Smush was incredible. It's just we've gotten a couple of point guards since Smush that are just blowing him out of the water. But Smush Parker, B tier. I'm not sure. Did I forget Bob Sura? Yeah, because I was just saying, I've definitely forgotten a few players. I forgot Bob Sura. Bob Sura would probably be B, hovering A. Smush and Sura are very, very similar players. And yeah, let's go B tier. You might get moved up to A though. AK. He's not a budget card. Why did I put AK on this list? Aaron Afflalo. D. He's got that really, really bad Manu Ginobili release. So I mean, if you're putting this guy anything above D tier, I get it. He's got half clamps. He's got goal range extender. He's got a lot of good badges, but there's just no reason to use him. Austin Crosher. I prefer Austin Crosher. I really like Austin Crosher. I think he's fast. He's got good height. He's a great shooter. He's a good rebounder, a good defender. A lot of people don't really like this card. Most people aren't as high on this card as I am. He might get moved down to B tier, but I'm going to put him A tier for now. He would be my favorite of all the players we have so far. He came out. Oh, was it Quantum Packs where they were the start of Season 5, if I'm not mistaken. Then we got Baron Davis. Baron Davis. He's not as good as Smush, but he's not far off. I think B tier might be the best place to put him. Funnily enough, he's better than the Opal Baron Davis, which like doesn't really make sense, but he is for some reason. So let me put him in B tier. Brent Barry, that's a C tier player if I've ever seen one. A lot of people like Brent Barry. I am not high on him. I think his release it's alright. It's Zerbiak's release. He's a good dunker, but I've really struggled getting to the basket with him. He literally just, for me, felt like a worse defensive Wally Zerbiak. But, again, not a bad card at all. He's pretty good. So, then we have got... is right here. We got Clem. Clem's A tier. Clem is better. Clem is a step above Baron Davis and Smush Parker. Clem is definitely a step above those guys. He's, like, if you guys don't know about Clem, Clem's got Kobe base, which is pretty decent. He's also got half range extender. He can curry. He's got decent enough height. He's a good defender. Clem Haskins, as far as those like ultra budget point guards go, I put him a tier ahead of like the likes of Bob Sura, Smush Parker, Baron Davis, all of those guys. Clem is actually really good. Then we got Darius Garland. I mean, Garland's not bad either. I like Garland's release. He's got half range. His donkey's not awful. He's a little bit undersized, so is Clem. I don't know. I think I'm going to put Garland B tier. But it's close. It's a really close one, so... I don't know. I think I have to put him in B tier. Darren Collison getting to E tier. I hate him. Like, he shouldn't be... Like, he should be better than Jared Jack, but for me, he's just not. I really don't like this guy. Derrick Jones Jr. He's B tier. I mean, he's missing a few key badges, but I mean... He's an all-around good card. There's nothing really wrong with the card. Yeah, I think B tier. I think B tier is the best spot for him. So, and we got Dino Radja. Dino... Let me look at these. I'm going to put Dino in A tier because because of the position he's in. I still think if you get Dino with Clams, which you can get for like 6 or 7k, I still think he's a good player. I still think he's a really, really good center. Because again, his handle's not awful. He's still tall. He's still got a quick first step. He's still got gold range extender. He's still got 50 gold badges. I think he's still very, very good. Draymond. Assuming you can get Draymond for under the like 15-20k mark, and I think he will be next week, definitely. Draymond Green belongs in S tier. Draymond is fantastic. He's like a way better version of Austin Crowsher. He is fantastic, lads. Dwight, E tier, can't shoot, but he is kind of fast. But I mean, can't really dribble. Doesn't have the woolly ball Shaq build. E tier. Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade's going in A tier. Like, Dwyane Wade is the exact same as the Opal. And if you're asking me who's better, Opal, Dwyane Wade, or Smush Parker, it's Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade's better than Baron Davis. He still gets those unbelievable chase down animations. Is he good on next gen? No, he is a trash can on next gen. But is he good on current gen? Yeah, he is. There's a reason why you saw so many people running the Opal Dwyane Wade in 250k. Like, Dwyane Wade's still a really, really good player. And I think at that point guard position, like, he's definitely not top 10 on either gen. But, like, he's top 30 on current gen. He's cheap, so he's not all bad. Eddie Jones. I was too harsh on Eddie Jones last time I made one of these lists. Eddie Jones is better than Afflalo. I'm going to put Eddie Jones in C tier. I was way too harsh on Eddie Jones. He's not great by any means. I don't like his release very much anymore. I liked it at the time. And he was God tier when he came out, though. He was incredible when he came out. It's just kind of mad. It's kind of mad how quickly 2K have given us the juiced budget players. Last year, we didn't really get juiced budget players, so people are still using Odom and May. Man, this year they gave us juiced budget cards quickly. Ersan Ilyasova, I mean, he was decent when he came out. No, he's worthless now. Felipe. Because of Felipe's extra length, he's basically like... Imagine if Smush Parker had like a plus 5 inches wingspan. Like, he's got that 7'1" wingspan, 6'5", great release, so A tier. Yeah, A tier. I'm going to give him A tier. Fred Hoiberg, base 38 on quick. He's actually a good shooter. He's like a Ruby and / much worse version of Darren Williams card. I don't think he's significantly worse than like a Smush Parker. C tier for him. Green. B, I'm not a fan. I don't like him. I don't know why. Don't ask me why I don't like him. I simply don't. So, B tier. Hakeem Warwick. Get into S, man. Hakeem Warwick is God tier. He is straight up God tier. He's unbelievable. I think I'm going to have to start moving around some of this list. But like Hakeem Warwick, I mean, he's like a B tier overall player. Maybe I had him C tier yesterday, but man, his release is fantastic. He can curry. He's got a good player build. He plays great defense. He's really good. So now we're going to put in players into the bottom tiers. Sweetney is going to go D tier. I think, is there anyone worthless here? I don't know why. I think I accidentally clicked on Siakam, but he's in a straight up garbage man. Jason Richardson's a garbage man. Are there any other absolutely worthless players? He's very, very bad. I mean, right now, yeah, Nick, as great as Nick Anderson was when he came out in like October. So yeah, he is absolutely worthless. I think I might move people down tiers. I'll move these guys down a tier. I move him down a tier. I might move him down a tier. Him down one. Down one, down one. Then down one. Yeah, I'll go. That looks a bit better. That looks a bit better. So next we got Shump. Iman Shumpert's A tier. Iman Shumpert is class. Is he the greatest card in the game right now? But as far as these like new players go, he is a severely underrated player. Like Shumpert, when he like 94 speed, 93 ball, half showtime. He's got half clamps and a whole bunch of defensive badges. Gold range extender. The only problem with Shumpert is he comes a slasher dribble style, which doesn't make a difference if you're on current gen and he can't curry. Like, he got 32 on very quick, which is Rondo released cash. He's fantastic. His only problem, again, is that the guy can't curry. He's A tier, and he's a 6'5" point guard. Bonga. I'm going to put Bonga in in B tier. I do like Bonga, and he's not a bad player to have on the end of your bench in case your opponents are in the top point guard. But one thing I've noticed is that players that are 6'8" this year are a lot better than guys that are 6'9", and you can get away with like a 6'6" point guard and a 6'8" player. Like the 6'9", 6'10" player, especially in current gen, a lot of them can't run. And I'm telling you, on next gen, height doesn't matter that much for a point guard. Like I'm starting D-Will at my point, and I have John Wall off the bench, and D-Will, anytime I've used him, he is cooked for me on next gen. So height doesn't make much of a difference. But yeah, Bonga is still one of the best cheap 6'8" point guard. Partly because he's the only cheap 6'8" point guard. But then we have got Jeff Green. D tier. I don't like him. I don't know why. Like, I love Jeff Green last year. I think it's just the way the game plays this year. Doesn't feel as fast. You have to give him range. He doesn't feel quite as good, to be honest. Jian Lian. Like, you have to badge him up, first of all. But like, E badged up is better than Dino badged up. I don't know. E badged up mightn't even be budget tier though. I'll put E in A tier. Dino might get moved down. I'll put E in A tier. I think he's good. Joakim Noah. Sorry. Bonga's not the only cheap top point guard. Joakim Noah is. But Joakim Noah's shooting isn't Bonga level. You need a few badges to make Joakim Noah usable. And I'm putting him in B tier because he's not terrible. He's not terrible. I like the card. For me, he's like a better version of that Pink Diamond Ben Simmons. He's flawed. Definitely his shooting's not great. But like, again, I've got range on him. He hits occasionally. It's a good enough shot that you can't leave him wide open. But it's also not a good enough shot that I really trust shooting with him. Yeah, he's pretty decent. Then we got Juancho Hernangomez. I mean, E tier. He's got a few decent defense badges and he can shoot wide open. That's about it. Karl-Anthony Towns. A? I'm trying to think of other centers here. Cat's the second best center in my opinion here. Cat. Yeah, going to S, I guess. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but like at his price, especially at his like lowest price, I'm not sure again what price Cat could be higher right now. Again, I haven't been looking for most of these players since probably a week ago, where Cat was probably at 15, 16k. If Cat's gone up in price, then yeah, that's just a fault of the Idols cards. So, and if he's no longer eligible for this list, that's my fault. But then we got Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, A tier. I love this card though. Man, I love Kevin Porter Jr. He's the best Ruby in this game. He's the best. Even though Thad Young exists, Kevin Porter Jr. is the best rebounding in this game. There's just something about him. His stats and badges are decent. They're not spectacular. They're decent. But man, the way he plays in game is next level. He is just next level in game. Killian Hayes. I'm going to put him C tier because he doesn't come quick for a step. But if you give him quick for a step, he's a really nice card. Killian Hayes he's got a handle. He's got a jump shot. He's got good height at 6'5". He's got decent, he's got a great release. His movement is pretty good. The only problem is like you have to get quick first step on him, but quick first step isn't expensive anymore. So it's maybe I could be tempted to put him up to B tier, but I think C tier maybe. I don't think he's quite as good as Clem. Him and Smush it's a debate. He's not as good as Lopez in my opinion, and I think Garland just shoots the ball better. But one player that's a guaranteed S tier player is Kirk Heinrich. Man, he's incredible. Kirk Heinrich, that base 22 on quick Curry slide, his defensive animations. Oh my, if you are on current gen, defensive animations, I'm just saying, mean a lot more on current gen than they do on next gen. So like the way the AI plays lanes, the way the AI stands. But my God, the defensive animations on Kirk Heinrich are absolutely incredible, lads. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, so Kirk Heinrich, great shooter, great defender, 6'4" with a decent wingspan. Yeah, he's unbelievable. Clay, he doesn't quite do enough in terms of shot creating for me to put him into S tier, but if you want a 3 and D wing, if I nearly clicked the lead template there, but if you want a 3 and D wing, I'm telling you, Klay Thompson is the best player for that. He's incredible at what he does, and he's basically the Opal Clay. This Kobe, I mean, you give him range, and he probably is out of the budget range, but I like him. I think high C, low B. He's probably better than Eddie Jones, but not by much when you give him gold range. I don't think he belongs in A tier, but he's either low B or high C. I'm going to put him high C, but he's good. Lamar Odom, A. Or no, S. S tier for his price. Like, again, he's like 19k when I saw him a couple of days, or when I saw him yesterday. And which, if you're 19k on a Saturday after a dead drop, I can guarantee you got a 15k if we get any sort of a hype drop this week. So Lamar Odom, he's got Curry slide on next gen, a great shooter, good handle. That's an all-around good card right here in Lamar Odom. LaMelo getting the S tier. Lionel Simmons getting the S tier as well. You two guys are the two best on next gen. You could, like, LaMelo is one of the best on both gens. And everyone's talking, oh, LaMelo's such a mismatch at power forward. It's like, he's got 85 rebounding, which is all right. It's better, like, he's better at the power forward position on defense than the Opal LeBron James is at the power forward position on defense. They juiced up LaMelo Ball's post defensive stats and even his strength stat. Like, if you guys have not seen this LaMelo Ball, anyone who's saying he's a mismatch, one, he's the best triple threat player for less than 100k in the game. Period. Anyone saying LaMelo Ball can't play a power forward. 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. But they gave him 88 block, 88 strength, 88 interior defense. He also has half intimidator, half pogo stick. Basically all the badges you need. Yeah, maybe you want to give him moving truck or worm. Maybe you want to give him one of those two badges. But he's got every badge on gold. He's got 85, 88 rebounding. Like, people are saying this guy is a mismatch. But they won't say this LeBron James is a mismatch. They'll say, oh yeah, no, he's not a mismatch at power forward. But like, he's got a lower block, lower interior defense, terrible rebounding, and basically the same defense badges. Like LaMelo Ball, 3056 total stats. LeBron James, 3009. Like, the LaMelo Ball is better than the LeBron James. I'm just saying that right now. He is significantly better than that LeBron, even inside at that power forward position. And he's also the best triple threat player by far that's on a budget. Probably less than 100k, he's the best triple threat player. Then Lionel Simmons. I mean, on next gen, he's a top 15 card in the game. I don't know what it is about his release, the way the card moves. He greens everything. And it feels like he's got half range. I don't know what it is with this card. And it's just this card specifically. Like, I like Richard Duma. I'm not going to put Richard Duma in Lionel Simmons category. I like Hakeem Warwick. I think Hakeem Warwick's very good. He's not Lionel Simmons. Like, I've tried out all of these budget guys. And, like, Malik Sealy's great as well. But if we're talking next gen, current gen, obviously I'll take Sealy over him. But if we're talking next gen, Lionel Messi, the greatest of all time, himself, Lionel Simmons, is 100% in. Not only in S tier, the best player in S tier, because he's so much better than all the rest of these on next gen. Actually, LaMelo's probably the best, then Simmons. So much better next gen. Magic Johnson, I mean, I think I just kind of have to put him in A, don't I? He's not that bad at power forward. He's a disappointment because everyone thought he was going to be this god tier player, but he's actually not bad. It's basically his point guard at power forward, and a lot of people I know are running, like, say, a Noah, or they might run like a Bonga or something at point guard, and just, or even just putting in a shooter at point guard and using Magic Johnson as a primary ball handler. Something like that could work. So he has a purpose. He's definitely A tier. But Malik Sealy is definitely S tier. Malik Sealy is basically just another Kawhi Leonard. Malik Sealy is basically Lionel Simmons, except Malik Sealy doesn't have blinders and Lionel Simmons has blinders. That's basically it. That is basically it. Like, but for me, the Hall of Fame blinders is so good on next gen. I prefer Simmons' release on next gen. Sealy's really, really good as well, though. Again, Sealy, god tier player. Marc Gasol, I mean, he's not a bad center. I'm gonna put him C tier. He's got like mid to high 70 speed, but he's still got range extender, a decent release in my opinion, and an overall good enough card. I don't like him on current. He's decent on next gen. Mark Eaton, I don't like him at all. Like, he's got like in the 70 speed, except he can't shoot. Like, yeah, I get it, he's tall and he can block shots, but I mean, you're gonna run around him. For me anyway, Mark Eaton is not it. I know some people like him, I don't. Fultz, a little bit better than Jared Jack and Darren Collison. He can play a little more to 2, goes to the basket a bit better than him, but he's a little bit outdated. And again, I cannot believe there are so many better, like, Ruby cheap point guards than Markelle Fultz. Like, when he came out, he was like a revelation. Marvin Bagley, yeah, Bagley, you get into A tier. Dino, you get into B tier. Bagley's, if you give Bagley range, he's better than, he's got a great release, he's got a handle, he can run the floor, he's a good shooter as well. Once you sort out the range extender problem, but just a great card, good defender. Maxi Kleber, S. Hall of Fame range extender, Hall of Fame clamps, great lateral quickness. His only problem is that he's got like mid 80s speed, but that's still not even bad speed at all. His release is decent. His DLO, it's better on current gen. But if you can get his release down, you're looking at one of the better centers in the game, especially if you are looking for a pick and pop big man. He's also got decent enough height, great defender, whether it's guarding one of the perimeter based centers or one of the big centers. And for me, he's a step above a Karl-Anthony Towns. Michael Porter Jr. I mean, I'm putting him in, even Clamps MPJ, I'm going to put in C tier now. I mean, he had it, I don't know, I'll put him B. He had his time though. Man, there was a time where Clamps MPJ was god tier, but man, his time is not now. But I'm telling you, if they give Michael Porter Jr. release on very quick is what Lionel Simmons has. If they give us a Michael Porter Jr. who can curry slide on next gen with his same release on very quick and half blinders, it is going to be the best card in the game on next gen. I'm telling you that right now. It's a guarantee. It is a guarantee. The best release I've used this year on next gen is the Michael Porter Jr. release on very quick. And if they give him that release at 6'10" with curry sliding and half blinders, it's going to be the best card in the game. Yao Ming. I'm going to put Yao Ming in C tier. If this was 3 or 4 days ago, before 2K completely tried to fix Zenning and all they did was break the stick, like nobody, well, not even 3 or 4 days, this week, like post hooking is extremely underpowered right now. So C tier because he can't play defense. Mo Bamba, I'm not as high. I know Ty is really high on this guy. I'm putting Mo Bamba C tier as well. I've used him plenty of times. The dude can't catch a board for me. Apparently he's good on current gen. My God, he's not good on next gen. I've only used him once or twice in current gen, and I don't even remember whether he was good or not. He was just kind of there. But for me, on next gen, he has been shocking anytime I've tried to use him. So C tier for Mo Bamba. Then we have got Mo Peterson. I mean, I think at this stage of the game, he's disappointing. But just because he's disappointing doesn't mean he's not. I mean, as far as 3-and-D cones go, especially on next gen, he's as good as Clay. So he is 8. He's just 8 tier. He is. Like, he's disappointing, yeah, because he's a pink diamond right now. But he's all right. Good shooter, good defender, decent length, blinders. He's a good cone. He's a good cone. This PG, B tier. B tier. I don't mind him. Again, he's very, very cheap. I do not mind this card at all. I know some people don't really like the card. I tried using him a few times. He's better on current gen than next gen. And still decent. Quentin Richardson. There are just so many guys that do more than him that I'm putting him in C tier. But I'll put him B. He's a catch and shoot player, but he's nowhere near as good as Mo Peterson. Not awful though. Then we got Richard Duma. S. He is S tier, and there is no question about it. Like, again, stats wise, badges wise, incredible. He's literally like another version of the Pantheon Zion. Except in my opinion, I prefer Duma to Pantheon Zion. But again, I know most people will prefer Zion over him, so I'm not going to say he's better than him. But he got goal range, PG release on very quick lefty. He can curry slide, quick dribble style, goes to the basketball, 30 Hall of Fame badges. He's incredible. Flip Murray, B tier. I was like, wherever Smush Parker is, it's literally his preference. Rudy Fernandez. I'm still putting Rudy Fernandez in A tier. I still think that behind the back, the Hall of Fame Showtime, the fact the guy dunks on everybody, and the fact he's like 4K MT, sometimes, man, Rudy Fernandez. I'm telling you, he belongs in a higher tier. Westbrook, B tier. He's like a slightly better version of these guys, but I don't think he's as good as Clem. So yeah, I don't mind him. Let's put him in B. Sekou Doumbouya. B. He's just decent. He can hold, like, these guys, A tier and above are guys that I would say are very good budget cards. B tier is like, could hold their own in unlimited, but not great. C tier, he's like, probably wouldn't use them, but you're not going to lose if you're not going to be at that much of a disadvantage if you use these guys C tier. Then D tier and below is like, I probably wouldn't use these guys. He looks very out of place at E tier, so let's move him up one. Sean Kemp. A tier. He's like a mini Moses Malone. Like, his running, his jumping, his dunking. He doesn't have the great defense stats, but his defense, he plays better because of how athletic he is. His shooting is iffy. You need to give him range, but for me, he's like a worse version of Marvin Bagley. Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, if we're talking next gen, he's probably S tier. If we're talking current gen, he's probably like C tier. Let me give him A tier. I'll give him A tier because he is one of the elite point guards on next gen. 6'6" point guard, decent release, half blinders, can curry, really, really nice card. Again, he's a tall point guard on current gen, so that's still an advantage. He's not special, but I'm gonna say A tier. Steve Nash, B tier. Some people really like Steve Nash. For me, he suffers from the Baron Davis problem at 25 defense. Or 25 interior defense. The only problem with 25 interior defense, it used to not really matter too much because every other point guard was like 6'3". So like when Baron Davis first came out, there was only one player I used to say it ever mattered against, and it was the Pink Diamond Magic, and no one was out there running Pink Diamond Magic. So I was like, look, unless you're coming up against Pink Diamond Magic, it makes no difference running someone with 25 interior. But now, that we have basically all of the point guards are demigods, and they can all post spin you, and interior defense kind of matters a bit. So yeah, Baron Day, and they also patch next gen to make interior defense matter for blocking. So yeah, he's basically suffered from the Baron Davis effect, and his card art sucks. So yeah, he's B tier. Ooh, I'm gonna say low A tier for Thaddeus Young. Like, Thaddeus Young, really good release. You got to give him handles for days, but I think he's an overall good card. I think he's flawed. He's not flawless. He just doesn't do anything great. Dwyane Wade based on quick though, so really good release. Tim Legler, I mean, C tier, he's fine. He's fine. His release is really decent on next gen. I don't like it on current gen. I've used him a few times on next gen. He's been pretty good. I've used him on current gen. He's been garbage. He's got Corver release. He's literally like a 6'4" Ruby Kyle Corver that can play point guard and curry. Then we got Tyrese Halliburton, S. absolutely no question about it. Tyrese Halliburton S. Do I prefer Heinrich to Halliburton? Yes, but will 95% of people prefer Halliburton? Also yes. So I'm going to put Halliburton obviously in S tier. He's one of the best cards for his value in the game. Then we're going to go with the Levines. I'm going to put one Levine in B tier and the other Levine in A tier. If we're talking next gen, I would probably put this Levine in S tier. I'm such a huge fan of this Levine, but I know a lot of people are not that high on Levine, so I'm going to keep him in A tier. Because on current gen, honestly, I'm not sure if I'd take this Levine over Kevin Porter Jr. Or I definitely wouldn't take him over Clay. But again, yeah, for his price, considering he's the freeze the locker code, a really good card. But last up, Utah, get all the way up to S tier right there. Does he belong in S tier? No, probably not. Where does he belong? Probably with Jared Jack in D tier. Maybe in E tier, but because he's a 5'9" point guard. But I mean, the meme gotta live on. The meme's gotta live on. So Utah is into S tier right here. So yeah, that is the list. This is, in my opinion, the rankings of the best budget players. I don't know what AK is doing there, to be completely honest. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.